This is Sean. Welcome to my video. This is a basic tutorial on ActiveCampaign, on its usage and features. So let's get started. So guys, before we get started with the video, this is a basic tutorial, and in case you guys want to know about anything that I explained during this video in a little detail, let me know in the comment section below and I will make a separate video on it. If it is a big question, if it is a small question, then I will answer it in a reply to your comment below. So basically, when you log into ActiveCampaign, this is the dashboard that you will be shown at the start, and it's got a lot of these small little bubbles here which look like widgets from your phone, and it's basically going to give you, this page is going to give you a overview basically of your entire account on ActiveCampaign. So if you see, there's all your contacts, the number of contacts are here, all the campaigns that you're running, all the automations that you're running, and of course this you won't really understand right now, but you will as we go along in the video. So just bear with me for now and grasp as much as you can. Everything will come together at the end of the video. There are little templates up here for your emails, the news that these guys send you guys, and a lot more. Now these widgets, as I told you, they're customizable. So if you click this button here, you see there are a lot more widgets which I do not use, but you can if you want. And any widget that you click on, you will take you to its advanced or a more elaborate spread where you can see a lot more stuff. If you click this icon back, which is their logo, it will take you back to the dashboard. Now any widget that I hover on, you see gets this X mark here, which you can cut the widget out completely, and now it's gone. And if you want to bring that back, just click here and you see it's added here as a contact trend, and I'll just click this and it should be up here somewhere, right here. See, now if you want to move it around, you can also move it around. A little tricky, but let's try and get it right, like this, and that's how it was in the first place. Now this part here that you can see is basically a real-time review on what is happening in your automations or campaigns, which we'll be studying in the further part of the video, which is your click-through rate, if someone's unsubscribed, if someone subscribed over here, and so on. If you want to create campaigns or automations or make a new list, you can also do it from this drop-down menu here. In order to explain anything, first, the most important thing in ActiveCampaign is to make lists. So we'll go here, just click here. There we have our list opened up, where we can see we have different types of lists over here, and this is the number of contacts in each list that I have here. Now list is basically a collection of contacts that are related to the same targeting. So let's say if you're selling a pen to someone, this would be a list to sell that pen to whatever clients have actually shown maybe some kind of interest to buy a pen. And this would be maybe for something else, like let's say a basketball. So and so on and so forth, you can make different lists. Now in order to make a new list, you need to just simply go up here and add new list, and you can name your list like the way I've named mine, add your URL for the website, and you need to let your contacts know as to why or how they have really subscribed for this list, and say create list, and you will create your list. If you want to import contacts directly into this list, you can just click here, and there are two options to do it, major options basically. The first option is the CSV format, which is basically an Excel file which you can directly import into that particular list, or you can use one of these software. So let's say sometimes I use SurveyMonkey. It's here somewhere here. So you can integrate SurveyMonkey to ActiveCampaign, and anyone who takes the survey will get added to these lists that you have prepared. And you can use a bunch of other automations which are available here as well. Let's go back. So there are a couple of options up here for each list. You can edit the list, view the contacts in the list, the engagement that is happening in the list, whether they subscribe, unsubscribe, open to your emails and stuff. Segmentation, I'll let you know in a bit. Subscribe by email, that means if you want to add someone to this particular list and you want to you want to do that by email, you can do this, and it'll take you to an email page which you can send that email to that particular subscriber, and they can click and subscribe to this particular list or any of these lists that you want. Subscriber SMS, same process as the email. You can copy the list and you can delete the list as well. If you click advanced settings, you'll have these couple of features here where resend last campaign to new contacts. That means anyone who gets added to this list, or let's say this list, everyone who's getting added new, if you keep this on, that means every last campaign that you ran will automatically be shown to the new people out here. And a lot more other stuff like auto post campaigns to Twitter and Facebook, a lot more options up here as well. You can put any of them on and well, it'll go in that way. Hit cancel, and the next thing after preparing lists is we can go and check our contacts. So these are the number of contacts that I have, and each contact is displayed here. Now I told you guys about segmentation, so this is the segmentation. You can segment people with tags. So if you click here, you see I have two segments over here for this specific company, where we have paid for upsell and 15 December paid. They had paid for the 15 December workshop that we had for them. So this is the kind of segmentation you can have inside your list as well. Here in all the contacts, if you want, you can view the contacts of a particular list over here, or the status wise. That means, let's say if someone is unsubscribed, you want to know everyone from your contact who's unsubscribed, you can just click this and it'll get that list out there. You can search for a particular contact over here as well. There are two options up here. Firstly, the first option is where you can email, and the other two options are add a note or delete this particular contact. So if you say email, you will email specifically this contact only. You can do that for any contact. These three options here, add new contact, so you can manually add a contact to your thing. Once you've filled in these details, you will realize once you click add contact, let's say I'll add myself. The reason why I've not put my own email address here is because I'm already in a list, so I can't be added again. So let's say I'm going to add this email. If I say add contact, it's going to ask me if I want to add to a list or add to an automation, or add a tag, advanced option. So basically that is why I told you you have to have a list. This is the most important thing to create before anything else. Now you can import contacts into all your contacts as well from a CSV file, as I showed you before. You can export contacts as well. Now this is an important thing that I keep using. So let's say there's a junior that has joined in, and I want to give him the contact list to work with. So I can just go here to all contacts and export this entire list and give it to him in a Excel file. He can work on it. The next one is campaigns. So now campaigns in ActiveCampaign are basically emails that you're going to be sending to your clients. These are a couple of campaigns that I've created before, but we're going to try and create one right now. So you just click on new campaign. Oh, and before we click that, remember that we have one thing called automations up here. I'll just explain why I just showed you guys that over here. The campaign name, you can name it whatever you like, and remember this has got nothing to do with what your clients are going to see in the email. This is completely for you to remember what campaign you were running. Then it has a number of options up here, which is standard, is what you're going to be using on a regular basis basically. These two things, automated and autoresponder, now they perform somewhat the same function as that automations option that I had shown you there. So we'll be studying that in a bit. Now that these three options are split testing, is basically, let's say you have maybe two different types of banners or two different types of ad copies that you've written, and you want to test which one works better. You can use this. RSS triggered is basically if you have a blog post and every time you put out a blog post, you want a particular kind of campaign going out to people, you can use this. Or you can use date based as to, like, let's say if it's a specific festival greeting or something, you can use this. We're going to use standard names given and click next. You see, I told you guys list is really important because they will always ask you for a list to opt in. So select this one and I'm going to go next. Before we go next, just look at this. This is where you are, basically like a timeline kind of a thing where you are in your process for sending your campaign out. So let's hit next. And this thing I'm just gonna go in brief, but basically if you want a detail for this, as I said at the start of the video, just let me know in the comments below and I will make a specific video on this, like only on campaigns. Now we've reached the template part where basically we have to design our email. There are a number of templates up here and they are fantastic. I have created my own templates for whatever reason. I'm just weird that way, but anyway, so you can use any of the past templates that you have created, or you can use one of the new ones that they will give you. So let's say we'll use this one here. Before that, you can preview it as well, but add your company name, your email address, and subject would be, let's say, welcome, and say continue. Now this is where we reach once we have selected the template, and as you can see, it is the template, and this is how the email will look to your client that you're sending it. Now as you see, if I hover over these things, you can see these boxes that are created. So each one is a particular element in this template. So I can take this and move it around. Why the hell is it not moving? Okay, now it's moving. So you can see, if I can see this green line here, that means now I can move that top box down here, like so. You can move it side to side as well. I'll just try and do that now. There, side to side as well. You have a number of features, but I'm not going to go to each because obviously we do not have that much time in this video. Now let's say I select a particular element, like let's say this one here. So as you see, there is a button over here, so I can change the font color and make it black. I can change the background color and make it red or whatever color I like. The border color as well, and the block color as well, this side part here. So let's say I don't want it to be green, I want it to be highlighted, so I will make it orange. There. So a number of options. Every time you click, you have a number of options. If you want to edit your text, you can go ahead and edit it directly and enter, and that's it. It's going to edit your text there. If you go into the options bar and check, you can also edit your font, Comic Sans, and you see the font has been edited. The font size can be changed and everything as well. You can insert a lot of stuff, like you can insert videos. All you need to do is drag and drop and you will insert stuff here. I do not have stuff to add to this tutorial, so I'm not going to do that, but as you see, there's a box created for the video here. You can add an RSS feed, you can add an image, you can add a text and stuff. And now there's one important option that I wanted to show you guys is when you click this, and since it's a button here, if you see there is a link given here, just click this and you can add a link that basically if they click that button, they'll go to that link, and you can add an action as well. So let's say I've sent you an email and I add this action saying that, okay, now if you click on that button there, it'll take you to this link, and that action can be subscribed to another list, or add you to another automation, or end the automation for you right here. So let's say I was selling a shoe to you. If this email, which is my first email, went to you and you just bought the shoe directly from this email, then I can just end the automation because I don't need to bother you anymore. That's a little bit tip, and yes, I can explain each and every option in a particular video, but not in this one. So let me know in the comments below. Hit next, and that is going to take you to this summary page. As you see in our timeline, we are almost done. This is the campaign summary where you can edit anything or any kind of thing that you had done before. You can edit every little bit. So your subject line, the email address that it should go from, and which list, the address. Oh, the address is basically your postal address. You have to put this. and there are a couple of options up here. These two I always keep checked. If you want reply tracking, you can keep that on. Google Analytics, you can keep that on. The delivery here is basically it will always go immediately if you say send now, but you can also schedule it by the date and time, and you can schedule it to be next month or whatever. If you say don't schedule, it will go immediately. The test mail will go to whichever ID you put here. So you can say send test and check it in your email how this really looks. Make sure to check your spam check. Now I haven't really done anything great in this, so there is no great spam check to be done here, but generally you want this to be a green tick, and that's when your spam check is good and your mails won't end up in trash. Now if you hit send now, this campaign will actually begin. Let's say you do not want to send it now. Let's say you want to show it to someone before you send it. Then hit save and exit, and here it's already saved over here for you. If you hit continue, whenever this person who you want to show this to for a review or something, you can hit continue and show them as a review, and then hit send and your campaign will be sent. Let's go to automations. So as you guys can see, I have a number of automations that I've created before. You can hit new automation and create a completely new automation, but for the sake of this video to go quicker, I'm going to click into one of the automations that I've already created. Now this is a sample automation. It's not one of the ones that I've actually used. So let's say these two lists are basically, let's say this one is from Facebook and this one's from Google. So let's say I ran an ad on Facebook. I will add all those contacts in a particular list, and I have linked that list over here, and all these contacts will come into my automation down here. The same thing with Google. You can add a number of other lists as well if you're running ads on multiple platforms as well. Once it comes here, now adding these things are really simple. You just need to click this plus button and it'll open this option up for you, where you can send emails, SMSs, and notify someone, or you can add some kind of conditions or workflow for yourself, or something to do with the contact. Now, if you don't want to click here, the entire option is right here for you. So the sending options, the workflow and conditions, and the contact options as well. Now, what does this really mean? Once they get into this list, they come into my automation up here and I get notified first. Then I've added them to wait for 5 minutes. Now how do you add that is basically, you go here and you see here there's a wait option where you can make them wait for 5 minutes or whatever time you'd like, and then after 5 minutes they will get an email, which is the first email that goes out to them. After that you can add another waiting period, so I've added 2 hours, and then another email goes out to them. Now let's say I want them, let's remove this wait and add a time. So let's say 1 day, and we'll save that. So you see, we've just created that. It's really simple. Let's create one from here. Let's say send an email, and say okay, you can actually edit the email and stuff. I'm not going to go into that detail over here. If you guys want a detailed understanding of automations, and if you want me to create an entire automation right in front of you on a video, let me know in the comments below. Now once they have reached here, let's say we've given them an introduction of what we are selling and all of that, and now finally we've asked them to buy something here. Now let's say we want to know if they're going to buy or if they're not going to buy in order to send them further emails. What we can do is click this button here, or you can go here as well, but this is just visually more appealing, so I keep going here and just go to this is the one of the options, which is if or else. And what this does is it sets up a condition. So there are a number of conditions. Like let's say if I say contact details, if they give me these details, they'll move further or they won't. Or I can go to actions, and let's say this one thing that I'm showing is if they have clicked on a particular link, you can add the link here and say okay, And now you see we've added a condition once they have reached this email. So in this email, if you've added a link, that link will be pasted in this part over here. And when they click on that particular link inside your email, if they have clicked it, they will reach this side. If they have not clicked it, they will reach this side after opening your email. Now you can also set up a time in the middle, or if you want it to directly go into one of the other processes, you can also do that. So let's say if they have clicked on your link, that means they bought your product, then you can click this and probably send in a thank you email and a thank you message. But let's say they've not clicked it on it, then you can probably add a wait condition and then maybe send another email and another email, and you can keep this automation as long as you want. Once you're done with your automation, you can just hit active and your automation will be on, and this entire process will start, and it's just completely automated. It's amazing. You can view the emails that you have created in the automation, and you can view all the contacts as well that have entered this particular automation. Now let's see the forms. So this is the forms page, and it's one of the most interesting ones of ActiveCampaign. If you have created a form before, it will come up here, or you can go and create a new form from here. We're just going to go and create one right now. Let's say the form is subscribe, and that's the name of the form. The form style, obviously you need to upgrade to a Plus Professional or Enterprise plan for the others, but trust me, this one is just enough. The action, let's say they need to subscribe to it, they'll be subscribed to a list, and which list you can obviously choose. I told you lists are just important in ActiveCampaign. So let's say paid for upsell, and you can add multiple actions as well, or you can keep it to one. Let's say create, and while we're here, you can customize this entire form for yourself. So let's say I want to clean this up, so I'll select this, and you need to type it in over here like hello. You can change these types, or you can add something here like, let's say I want to add a phone number. I want their phone numbers as well. I'll drag this here and I'll wait for that green line and I'll release. And you see the phone numbers added here. You can move it up and down as to wherever you'd like to position it as well. Again, I won't be going to all these options. You can just work around with it. The style, you can add the form style, the background. If you want the form to be in red, you can do that. This button over here, you can customize the text color and the border as well. Let's say the text color is black. The border, the background can be, let's say, green for them to click on it, and so on. There are a couple of options up here, like let's say if they've submitted this, you just want them to say thanks for signing up. This message will show up once they have submitted this form. You can also add them to a list. You can change that list which I just clicked on before. You can change that over here as well. Let's hit integrate, and it takes you to this page where you have two options: simple embed or full embed. And I am not well versed with websites that's as such, so my web developer does it for me. So you just need to copy this into some part of your website, and basically that will do the work for you. This part is the one which is the most interesting in ActiveCampaign. You do not need a website. That is the best part. This is a link of the form that you just created. So just copy this, and I will actually open this form right now. There. So you can actually see that there is a link that has been created to your form where you can actually just use this link, post it on your Facebook ad or your Google ad or whatever, and it will take them to this particular form. You don't even need a website. That's the beauty of ActiveCampaign. You can integrate with WordPress or Facebook as well. And yeah, let's go back, and let's go to reports. Now in the reports section, as you can see, there are a couple of campaigns that I have run and in the past, and this is the reports on each campaign. You can see over here the campaigns. You can select each campaign and view the reports. You can set it to automations and see each automation and how it's been working, and you can set it to goals as well. I haven't set any goals, so you won't get to see anything there. But let's say I will just click on one of these to take you guys inside into the analysis. So when you've sent a campaign, usually it's going to look like this itself, because everyone's going to open it the first day or second day maybe, but nothing further from there. So that's why it looks like this. You can take an overview, a message that's come out from there, opens and reads. Geo is basically which part of the world they've opened it in. Social is basically which social media. If they've unsubscribed after opening your email, which is really sad if they do that. And yep, that's about it. You go down, you see all the people who've opened the email and the open rates, the open summary and everything over here. And if you want to go back to your dashboard, as I had said before, click here and you'll go back to your dashboard. Well, that is the basic understanding of ActiveCampaign, and in case you guys want me to do a detailed tutorial on campaigns and automations or forms as well, just let me know in the comments below. If you guys didn't understand any part of the video, let me know in the comments below and I'll reply to any questions that you guys ask. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing a lot of tutorials on digital marketing as far as the softwares are concerned, and on different things like using Photoshop, the basis of Photoshop for making thumbnails or posters or banners that are needed, or video editing as far as the softwares are concerned, and how to use the softwares or even edit videos, and these kind of integration softwares which make our lives as digital marketers really simple. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you did, then hit that like button down there, and until next time, take care.